5 things you should do to successfully sell your house. All those 5 things are based on my 20 years experience. Number 5, keep it clean and declutter. Remember 12 seconds rule? Buyers will know in 12 seconds from the moment they walk to the front door if they do not like your house. Make sure as soon as they walk in the house, houses smell beautiful, lights are on, you can put it in settle music in the background, very quiet, settle, nothing super loud. Make sure countertops are decluttered. When you walk to the bathroom, there's nothing in the countertops. You have to create feelings for those buyers, so they have to fall in love with the house, and you have a very short period of time to impress them, to get them to that point when they like the house. Keep it accessible. Number 4, do not make buyers wait for days to get to see the house. There's lots of competition out there. If it's possible, make it accessible at same day, if not following day, but do not make house accessible on Wednesday and Friday, because they're not gonna wait. They're gonna see somebody else's house, fell in love and put an offer, and right there you're gonna lose qualified buyers. So if it's possible, make it accessible. Do not be in the house during showings. Go take dogs for a ride, go get an ice cream. I personally against for my sellers to be in a house during showings, because you don't want to buyer ask the questions, you don't want to tell them stories. And working with the buyers in my 20 years, none of them like when seller or present in the house, because it usually takes much longer, and they want to do it in their own terms. They want to get in and out. They want to be able to speak highly or speak negatively about the house, so it should be private. Even if you request your agent to be in the house during showings, I would not follow those buyers around. What I usually do when I sell house and my sellers require for me to be there, I usually stay in the kitchen and I tell them, if you have any questions, I will be here waiting. I regularly come and see how they're doing, ask if they have any questions, but I never follow them around through whole entire showing. It's super important to leave them in private and let them talk, like I said, positively and negatively about the house. Because remember also, when you look at the houses, you don't want to be followed. You want to be yourself and communicate between you 2 or 3 and agent without being followed. Which comes to the rule to think number 3, do not listen to the cameras. These days we all have a cameras, and some of my sellers, they just like to have a cameras in every room, and every showings they have, they listen every word the buyers are saying, and then they take it personally and get emotional. And how dare they say my kitchen is a mess, how dare they say my couch is ugly. I would not listen. It's putting so much stress on you, and you get too much, you involve too much in the process of selling the house, and it's just not healthy. Let the agents do the work and watch them, but I would strongly suggest do not listen what they have to say, because technically they have a right to say that your couch is ugly. Maybe it's ugly to them, it's lovely to you, it's a matter of opinion. But like I said, I would strongly suggest do not watch any of those videos. Would come to number 2, open house. I personally do not like open houses, because chances of me selling house from the open house is 1%. And I do not like a bunch of unqualified people wandering around the house, because I cannot possibly follow all of them from room to room. And it's not safe for my seller staff, and I just personally don't see how can somebody driving from the church see the open house sign, walked in my open house and put in offer with all this accessibility on the internet and Zillow, Realtors.com, all those websites. People who are truly buying, they search internet and they have agents who help them with that, or they do it on their own. But I just don't see how come somebody walked in an open house and just put an offer. It's a great way for me to gain relationship with the possible buyers and see if they will work with me. But I personally don't work that way. Most of my business come from my previous relationships. And I suggest my sellers not to have an open house. So I might be judged by some other agents, but I've just expressed my opinion and my 20 years experience. And if my seller insists for me to have an open house, of course I will do that, but I usually don't. And I would say number one thing, just let your agents do the work. Don't be too involved. Don't ask for feedback constantly, because what I see happen, and I compare selling house to dating. You can go to the date and there's a person, gentleman or lady in front of you, and he or she has everything you're looking for, but something is just not there. Same thing with the houses. You can have a house you look at, everything is there, looks like 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, how many square feet, 1 story, but just something is not clicking between you and that house. This is what happened between buyers and your house. It's not like they don't like your kitchen, they don't like your colors, they might like everything about the house, but they just not like it enough to put an offer. And by you insisting for you agent to call and call because you're determined to get some kind of feedback, it's not gonna give you any satisfaction, because that agent would just dump something to your agent to just for them to stop calling them. So you don't want this agent to say something they don't really mean, like, well, rooms are too small, colors are too bright, the yard is too small. It's not what it is. But they just have to give you some answer if you insist for your agents to constantly call and call and call and ask for feedback. Don't do that. If your agent asks for feedback once and there's no answer, move on. They don't like house for whatever reason, and most of the time there's no reason at all. There's just not it. They don't like it enough to put an offer. There's nothing wrong with your house. Do not take it personally, and just move on and wait for another buyers. Also, it's super important to check competition. And if you don't have enough showings, if it gets really quiet, ask your agent to check competition. What are you competing against? What are other houses? How they price? And maybe even come and see a couple of them to put yourself in a buyer's shoes. And if you don't have an offer, you don't have a showings, you will not have an offer if you don't have a showing. So if you don't have a showing, there's something going on. You might be a little higher in the price, or there's something else. So you want to see your competition just to compare your house to other houses, and ask your agent to maybe talk to other agents and see if they have any activities. So those are 5 things, actually 5.5. I would suggest for you to follow to successfully sell your house. And most importantly, do not stress out. It's been done before. You're not the first, you're not the last. It's been done millions times. You will do great. Just relax and let your agent do the work. Make sure you pick the right one, and you will do incredibly well. Good luck to you.